circle at the start of the event. But the officials will change all of that as the field rumbles into turn number 1. It is Jerry Savage who is off the pace and pulls to the inside. As the first caution comes out, Dick Brooks will send Bob Potter 2 positions back on the racetrack. As the action resumes, it's Ted Christopher to the outside. Mike Christopher in to contend for second when Mike Capacetti slams the wall hard up turn 4. It is Ted leading Mike back to the line to secure the victory for the Winston race, but it was short-lived as Mike Christopher would win the battle and start to pull away. Rocco would then have to settle for second, and Mike Christopher was Ted Christopher looking good. By rookie contender Bordino with car number 52. It was Potter, Jeff Berry, and Mike Christopher duking it out, heading to the front of this field when Bob Potter would go around with car number 51. But when the field was still at speed off the 4th turn, it was Ted Christopher holding on the spirits and the excitement as the action came back to Thompson for July 23rd. Winston Racing Series Modified proved to be competitive as trouble would develop early in the event. Broderick would make contact. Eddie Spires would also be involved, but Jeff Berry, Mike Perrott, and Bob McCready would be setting in the front row. Perrott would initially get the bite, but Bob McCready would start to pull away. Then Winston Cup driver Jeff Bodine would reel him in. Bodine was a veteran on the asphalt at Thompson at one time. As McCready would get crossed up, it would be Bodine into position number 1, and he'd literally start to thread the needle through traffic. Jeff Bodine was on a roll. He was looking for an easy victory and would secure it with ease to win this first-time ever event. The Winston Racing Series Modifieds were also a major part of this event. Mike Christopher would take the lead when Teddy Christopher would get crossed up. Bob Potter and Eddie Spires would be involved in the scramble here, and so would several other front-running competitors. Bob Potter would try to back it back into the pit area as the action was still on at the front of the field. Jeff Berry was reeling him in, but Mike Christopher was the man who would dominate the race 5 tour. Tom Baldwin would quickly jump into the lead, and Reggie Ruggiero, well, he wouldn't settle for second for long. Tony Hirschman was reeling him in when suddenly a massive mix-up would occur. Larry Moore, Mike Stefanik, Mike McLaughlin, all involved in the mix-up here. But Reggie Ruggiero and Hirschman would finish one initially in the start in the Steed number 55. But the field was still fast and furious at the front of the pack. It was Mike Stefanik holding off the pressures of Doug Heveron as Reggie Ruggiero was working him over. The battle of the points were really on now, and Stefanik was leading the charge as he would hold on to underdo all the best of the NASCAR Winston Modified Tour. And as the field went to green, it would be 300 laps of excitement in the competition here. Tom Bowles would try to hold off the pressures of Mike McLaughlin, but suddenly Reggie Ruggiero would be involved with McLaughlin. Brian Ross would spin. As the field of cars would scramble, many of the front-running machines like McLaughlin would try to head to the pit area. Mike Stefanik had scrambled back to the front of the field and would take over the lead from Ricky Fuller. Stefanik was on a roll. Hirschman was running in second with 1 lap to go and pressured by Heveron. It was Stefanik way out in front when suddenly Hirschman would drop off the pace, figuring that the checker had already fallen. But for Mike Stefanik, the checker was in sight, and he would have a point event for the NASCAR Modified Tour. Tony Hirschman, Mike Stefanik, and Reggie Ruggiero had one thing in mind: to win and to take the title. Tony Hirschman would have his share of problems debris on the racetrack while leading the event, but that debris would cost Reggie Ruggiero a great deal more. The battle of the points, Ruggiero had come from the pit area. He was hunting down Stefanik. As both Stefanik and Ruggiero were working to the front, Hirschman had 2. It was Larry Record who was out in front. Warren would reel him in, but Record would take down the winner's circle. In the midgets in competition, it was Joey Coy who was looking for a point title. He was trying to thread his needle to the front of the field when Drew Fenora would lose an engine, forcing him out.